Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are live and back at it again, folks. It's a Thursday night, and we are ready to get into your Elimination Chamber 2025 predictions preview. We're going to get into all of it. Who's coming? Who's going? Who's doing what? Who's going to win? We're going to give you our takes, folks. Me and these pretty faces got you for the next little while. So strap in, strap on, grab your snacks, grab your feel-good, and welcome to the Wrestling for Life Network. Let's go. Ding, ding, ding. We are live and back at it again, folks. Like I said, we are the Wrestling for Life Network. It's going to be a fun one here tonight. We're going to jump into WWE Elimination Chamber live from beautiful Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Looking forward to this one. Not a lot. Again, the Triple H era has brought in these lighter cards, and we're going to talk all about it here tonight. Lots of story going into this, lots of moving parts. So we got a lot to break down and get into. Get in that chat, click all the buttons. Make sure you hit like, share, subscribe. Go follow all our socials. Don't forget, we're back for the Go Home Show tomorrow. SmackDown, 3 hours as we head into Chamber. And, of course, the TNA review this week as well. Do not miss out on any of the stuff we got coming up. Revolution around the corner. Sacrifices coming our way. So much to talk about. So much to get into. But I will take a second to remind you that I am Mr. Evernight KJ White, the Iron Man of YouTube. That is Anthony, and that is Nick. And that is backwards. Go, Nick.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Wrestling for Life Network proudly brings to you its tag stream trios, champions of the world, Sweet Tony Rings, Ringside Anthony, the Every Night Delight, the guy who just can't get it right, Mr. KJ White. I am Big Nick. And yes, it's still a smaller card, 4 matches, but we've got an unsanctioned match, 2 chambers, and we get a little bit of, whoa, it's time to rock and roll.
Gonna be interesting.
Yeah. We got a lot going on. We got Cody Rhodes got to make his decision if he's going to sell his soul. So yeah, we got a pretty decent card here for Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, a lot of story going into this one. Like, I mean, again, not a heavy in the number of matches, but they're going to give these matches time to cook. And again, a lot of intrigue. Both chambers have a lot of story going into it. And then, of course, Sam and KO. We'll talk about that when we get there. But my God, I can't wait. And of course, we're getting Trish Stratus. So 5-star match already before even getting in the ring. Let's go. Book it. We're ready.
Man's giving this a 10 out of 10 before the show's even started. We're just moving to 11 and up. We're in the Meltzer ratings now, boys.
Right. But I'll quickly just rapid fire Daryl, Kevin, Sean, Jessica, Arthur, Clay, Ken, Cherokee George, Boston. I see. That is a reminder. No spoilers. We know other wrestling's going on right now. I know the spoilers have been out for a day or so, so do not drop any spoilers in the chat. If you are watching wrestling right now, keep it to yourself.
Right. You can comment in Ringside Anthony's, TNA review on Saturday. You can leave all the comments on that.
Right.
And we will be doing more TNA in March, and we're still test running our TNA Thursdays. So make sure you guys are available for that and support the brand. So Wrestling Proud's with us. MDB's back at it on what could be his final couple days as champion. Trey, Chambers, Brandon, James and KC, Mike, Polo's back with us. Trey, I see you. Thank you. Michael, Brandon, Polo, Chambers, got you. Damian, Gregory, and Christopher. All right, gentlemen, how we feeling? How we feeling about Chamber?
I'm excited. I think when it comes to the women's chamber, I feel like this is like the most stacked women's chamber we've had in a minute, right? With the likes of Bianca and Alexa and all the other wrestlers in there. And then the men's elimination chamber, we got CM Punk in there, Cena. So I'm excited. My excitement level for elimination chamber is pretty high this year.
Yeah, I agree with you, Anthony. I don't recall the last time both chambers were this stacked going into it. Like the men's and the women's are both murderers rows. Like when it comes to the men's chamber, I almost don't want to pick a winner. I want to just give my ranking out of top, 5, 6 that are in the chamber of who's going to win.
Right. Yeah, I mean, even on the men's side, it's a bit of an all-star roster. Like it's really crazy. In 2025, we got Punk, you got Drew McIntyre, you got Cena, Seth. Like, I mean, those names alone, never mind a Damian Priest. You know, I mean, there's a lot of reasons to be excited.
Absolutely. And I like that. Granted, there's only two, but the matches outside of the chamber have a bit of story and have a bit of, weight behind them as well. And that's not a crack at Nia either.
Absolutely. Real quick, Polo, new member. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the Four Lifers, Polo. I guess we can dive into it, and we'll kind of, go through the easy and then get to some of the tougher ones. Though maybe not overly predictable for either of the two outside of the chamber matches. Tiffany Stratton teams up with Trish Stratus, of course, taking on Candice and Nia Jax. It's going to be fun, and it's already a 5-star match.
Anthony, would you like to pick someone that's not obviously KJ picking Trish and me picking Tiffany?
No, because I think I'm on the same length of y'all of going Trish and Tiffany. Like it has to be. I think Tiffany needs every bit of momentum she can get heading into her biggest match in her career against Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. She needs this win. Like it's definite that she has to win this tag team match with Trish Stratus.
If Charlotte comes out and screws her over, could it potentially set up Trish Nia Mania and really dig more into Tiffany being the baby face that's got to come back and, find it within her to take down the legend that is Charlotte Flair?
Well, Charlotte has history with both women now. Like she faced Trish Stratus at SummerSlam, 2016, 2017, somewhere around there. So there's history there with Trish and Charlotte. Obviously we got the current story with Tiffany and Charlotte. Charlotte could come out here and do something to interfere in this match. I don't know exactly what, but I can see Charlotte dipping her toe somewhere in this match.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think that you have a very good opportunity here. I mean, just to continue to build Tiffany up. It's in Toronto with Trish. I mean, going to be uber babyface. And I mean, I've kind of wanted the Queen versus the Princess for a while. We're getting it. I think it's going to be an epic match. I think it's something that we're really going to remember looking back at this WrestleMania will be that match between Tiffany and Charlotte. Yeah, maybe it does allow Nia to kind of do something with Trish to keep her busy.
Yeah, well, I think Trish has been adamant that she actually still wants to work and have a couple matches, obviously, with coming back at the Rumble and now wrestling at Chamber. And the question, I guess, is more of if Tiffany wins this match, is it help her with, like Anthony said, it keeps her momentum going, it gives her any bit of momentum she can? Or do you have Charlotte cost her and it keeps her, the beaten down, the underdog babyface that's got to go against the Queen and fight back?
No, I think you give everybody a feel-good moment. You're in Toronto, big W, yeah, keep her ball rolling. Like you'll have plenty of time. And there hasn't been any physical interaction between Tiffany and Charlotte yet. So I think you got a few weeks after Chamber now where, Tiffany turns her back and catches a boot real quick from the Queen.
Fair enough. I mean, we do still have now a 2 3/4 or a month and 3/4 before Mania, so we've still got a while for a build here.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
we definitely still got a bit of time before WrestleMania. So I think as the weeks go on, we'll pick it up between Tiffany and Charlotte.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So officially, I'm obviously going Team Trish. Nick's going Team Stratton. So we picked the same thing differently.
Exactly.
And you're joining the party as well. You're taking both.
Absolutely. There's no other way here.
Yeah, we are the Pink Pony Club out here, picking the Pink Cowgirls.
Well, the chat is 100% for Tiff and Stat or Stratton.
This does feel a bit like a slam dunk. Like I said, I threw out the idea of maybe Charlotte, gets involved. That's the interference. That's, to me, I feel the only way that Nia and Candice win this. And that's not a knock on them. It's more of, like you said, Trish in Toronto, Tiffany, world champ, first time teaming up, momentum towards Mania. They have everything in their advantage. And them losing this match does more wrong than good.
Yeah, for sure. I completely agree with all of the above. Yeah, it's really hard to argue, but I think it's just fun, and it will be a feel-good moment in what can be a very interesting show with other things going on. We might need a couple feel-good moments in there, so we'll take this one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But now the match I'm really looking forward to, not officially a match because it's unsanctioned, but the unsanctioned match, KO, Sami Zayn, the Battle of Canada, if you will. How are we feeling on this one?
Is it weird to think that this match could be better than both chambers?
Yep. No, not weird.
Oh, thanks. I was going to say, well, I know I'm weird, but thank you for telling me. Yeah, this match, especially because it is an unsanctioned match and everything, they're going to go back to fucking Kevin Steen versus El Generico hockey fights. That's what we're going to see as a match.
We're definitely getting at least one hockey fight.
If not all of them. What spots are they going to do? I bet you we see a little hockey stick get used. Probably even some jersey pull and all of that.
I don't know. Kevin Owens jumping off or something that's very high. Kevin Owens is like a daredevil in himself. A lot could really happen. I know we've seen this match several times in WWE, and I know it's been done, a million times outside of WWE. And I feel like every time they get in the ring together, it's always a good time and a good match. And this being unsanctioned, like anything goes. I feel like we may see something similar to the degree of what we saw with Cody and KO at Royal Rumble. Like it was a lot happening in that last little bit towards the end of that match, and I feel like we'll get to something similar or even a little bit better here.
Maybe.
Well, I was going to say, does the KO representative want to weigh in on this at all?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm looking forward to this one, and I'm actually really torn, as people could imagine. To me, this is as close to a coin flip on a match ever. I saw somebody say, well, maybe KO takes out Sammy gets written off TV. A lot of people have had the theory that Damian presents of is our KO ready to go? Is he back off the shelf? Does he make him, his presence felt during this match? I don't know. I'm so torn. This is all I know is the match is gonna be good. They're gonna go through chairs, tables, they're gonna punch each other. It's going to be stiff. It's going to be great. We've seen it in every place they've gone together. We've seen that, and we know what it delivers.
Do we see an actual pinfall in the center of the ring, or do we get like a pinfall in like the concourse or something?
I don't know. It's unsanctioned, right? Like, do we even get a pinfall? Is it just like a knockout?
Well, yeah. If it's not like how Big Bill couldn't answer the 10 count, but. I don't think this is as much of a coin flip, but I can see either way. The rumor that I've heard, and this is, we've broken away from the IWC with the WFU and everything, but the rumor that I've heard is that Orton's not going to be back till like March, late March. So I don't know if he comes back, but then again, we've seen that type of stuff reported half a dozen times, and they show up that night, a la Bliss at the Rumble.
Okay. Right, I was just about to say Bliss, but I have it's not really torn for me who wins this. I really have Kevin Owens winning, and I think because since he's turned into this new heel persona that he's been under for the past couple of months, he's been taking some losses, and I think Kevin Owens needs a win here heading towards WrestleMania. I think I'm kind of with MDB down there with his comment saying nobody wants Sammy to win. I actually don't want to see Sammy to win. True. I think I'm all KO this time winning this match.
Well, right now the chat is literally 54% KO, 46% Sammy.
It's
so
lit.
Toss up. But listen, there are people that don't want to see Sammy win, though I don't know that he's going to win this one. I like what you said about KO's done a good job. He got, he put Cody over. He's had some issues before that where he wasn't really getting a whole lot of wins. I think this could be a big win for Kevin Owens. And that's where I said we have this big happy, yay, Tiffany, Trish. And then you follow it up with like, oh my God, KO just killed him. Like,
Right.
Yeah, I'm KO. That's I think the biggest thing. I'm going KO too as well. KO needs the win more than Sammy does. KO's had a fair amount of losses all right in a row, especially now that he's been, this justified. He's gone through his. Remember when Drew first was the justified heel, and
yeah,
you had to keep rubbing it in my face how he kept catching L's and kept catching L's and
yeah,
catching L's. Now this is where Kevin needs to start getting wins. Now he needs to start putting some wins up on the board.
yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, it really, again, if Sammy does win, it would be curious to see where Sammy goes from there. That's the other part of it is I just feel like there's more like KO's been up and around that top tier. He has, there's still that Randy thing out there. If Randy's coming back in a week or two, I mean, you could definitely have something happen here, and begin that. Someone also asked, could this be, a match that ends in no contest and you bleed these two into Mania?
I don't know because I saw, and this is again pulling from another comment. I think this was, bonkers. What if Cross comes out and costs Sammy? Because I think we could do Cross Sammy at Mania, and that seems to be a thing that's kind of been going in the background. I know Cross has put out tweets pretty much taking shots, cosplaying as Sammy and everything. So maybe that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could definitely happen. Cross being on the Mania card would be insane because it seems like I know he was on the card last year, I think, in some type of tag team match.
Him versus Lashley.
Yeah, if he gets a singles match at WrestleMania against Sami Zayn, I think that's really good. We could push the storyline towards that way with Sammy versus Karrion Kross. I think out of anything, KO just really needs this one right here. He really needs this one.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. So I'm officially going KO. Shocker. It took me a while. Shocker.
So we're 2 matches deep. We're halfway through the card, and we have been completely unanimous across the board.
Right. So we're either really right or really wrong. We'll find out.
Well, you're agreeing with me, and I'm normally really wrong, it seems. So I don't know what that tells you.
We want Cross. Now, again, I never even thought of that. Now, it'd be interesting if they could kind of spin that into this. But again, 2 matches. I mean, the first match, pretty straightforward, I think. But there are options. This one could go multiple ways as well. So as the guys that kick around and watch a shit ton of wrestling, they have us scratching our heads a little, trying to figure out where this is all going to end up.
Yeah, normally you got me to scratch my head like this. This got me doing this shit. And the disregard MDB's comment of that no one wants Sammy to win. I know we all pick KO. I would still be pleasantly surprised and could very much see a way that they could have Sammy win this match. Like, that's the thing, is it's not completely ruling Sammy out. It's more of, for the sake of KO's character, he needs this a bit more.
Yeah.
Well, and I do think that the easier out, like if you are planning to continue this, Sammy winning is, to me, the easiest way to get there. I know someone said no contest, but if Sammy finds a way to beat KO, but then KO shows up on Monday or Friday and just blasts Sammy again, like, how dare you, and gives him all the you beat me because the ring was too small. You beat me because of this. You beat me because of that. Like, continue to be that gaslighting KO. It definitely lends for the story to continue if Sammy gets the first one.
Yeah, fair enough. I really don't see this surprisingly going past this. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
I think KO, the big thing, the big white whale, I guess. I don't know if that's possible, but I'll say it. That it seems in the storyline for KO is Randy Orton. It feels like he's got to go through and get back at everyone that he's had prior beef with that have circled around to the Roman thing. And that's the last puzzle piece to fall.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's valid. That's valid for sure.
Yeah, I think Randy, I think it's going to be Randy and KO at WrestleMania. That's really what I think it's going to be.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, it's hard to dispute. It feels like it's a story without an ending. So we got to finish that story when we get a chance.
Right. But I see even still names popping in. Hassan, what up? Trey, what up? Jake, the tribal chief, what up? What up? OG Dale, I see you. But yes, women's elimination chamber, sir.
Yes, sir. So we got the women's elimination chamber. For those who don't know, the faces on the screen will be in the match. Liv, Bianca, Alexa, Roxanne, Bailey, and Naomi. And I mean, within the actual match, there might not be a ton of story between each individual, but around this match, there's a lot of question marks of who, what, when, and where.
Very much so. Do we see that's got to be Jade? That's got to be Jade. She rips the door off to the chamber, rips the pod, glass out, and has got to get back at who took her out.
Yes.
Yeah, I think this you have to capitalize on this moment. We've been waiting like 6 months, even though it hasn't been 6 months. It's felt like 6 months, but yeah, it's time for us to rip that band-aid off for Jade Cargill to come out to reveal who her attacker is.
I honestly thought we were going to see it on Raw earlier this week. I thought that's when we were going to see it, but yeah, I could see it. And I think we've all kind of said before who we think it is. Do we want to reiterate that of who she ends up screwing over then, I guess?
I don't agree with you, so I think it's Bianca.
Fair enough.
I think
I didn't say you agreed with me. I just said we've all said who we think it is.
You made it sound like we were all on the same page.
I didn't say nothing like that. If that's how you interpret it, that's on you, my guy. That's a you problem, not a me problem.
Don't lump me in with you. Who do you think it is?
I think it's Bianca too. And I like how they tried to kind of throw it out there this week by throwing it off like Naomi, by both of them talking about them potentially turning heel. I like how they kind of did that. But I'm kind of I don't want to say I'm confused, but I also feel like Bianca Belair is winning the chamber. And I guess I can go through all of my theories with this to get to Bianca. So my runner-up was Liv Morgan until they won the tag team titles on Monday. There's no point for her to win the chamber with holding the tag team title. I believe they're setting Roxanne. Roxanne would be a huge choice to win, but I also believe they're setting Roxanne up to take on Bayley at WrestleMania, with Bayley putting her over and making her probably the biggest star on the women's Raw roster at that point. Naomi, as much as I love her, I just don't see Naomi going up against Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. I just don't see it. And Alexa Bliss, it seems like her story is actually potentially with the Wyatt Six. So the only obvious choice here is Bianca in my mind. And I know we've been wanting Bianca versus Rhea at WrestleMania. So that only begs the question, is Naomi the actual attacker? And we get Naomi and Jade, but I don't want it to be Naomi. That's just me. I really think it's gonna be Bianca, and maybe after WrestleMania, you get Bianca as women's champion facing off with Jade for a feud. That was my off the wall thinking of why Bianca could win the Elimination Chamber.
I mean, that breaks it down really, really well. I agree with you completely on Bayley and Roxy. I would take them out of contention. Liv is not going to win the chamber. Currently, they'll do something, whether it's Liv and Raquel versus Lash and Jackson, they'll find something for them to do as women's tag champs. So that leaves Bianca, Naomi, and Alexa. The thing I find very interesting is, why can't it be both? Why can't it be Naomi and Bianca?
Just 2-on-1 handicap match then? Jade comes back and she beats both of them?
Beats one at a time. Beats Naomi first.
Oh, I don't know. No. Because, spoiler alert of who I think wins this whole chamber and everything. I think it's Bianca. We set up Bianca versus Rhea at WrestleMania. 100%. Sorry, 316. Liv's not facing Rhea again for the 18th time. But we get that match set up. Like you said, Liv and Raquel will be defending the tag belts. Roxanne and Bayley fight off and have a match. Naomi ends up facing Jade because she's the one that attacked her. And, Jade gets her pound of flesh back and everything. And then we have that match at Mania. Alexa, I think, is probably my runner-up here. And I wonder if the Wyatt Six shows up or gets involved in the chamber at all and kind of costs her at some point. Because, like Anthony touched on, and you may have as well, of how she's very much feels like it's going to be her with the whole Wyatt Six of they've had the little flashes of I'm the one in charge. Do you feel in charge? All of that.
Yeah. And I mean, again, that's where I kind of get hung up on how this plays out because, okay, so if Jade comes back at Chamber, would you have Jade pop up and Howdy pop up all in the same match? Maybe a little gratuitous.
You got like an hour and a half for this match.
So maybe, I mean, again, I'm not saying it's out of the question. I hesitate of like, all right, how much surprise are we going to get within the one? I'm torn. I think Alexa's got a really good case, but everyone does see the teases. Everyone has seen the hints of what it could be. So you hesitate. I mean, could there be a surprise? That could Roxy steal this and then, in the process of being the number one contender, take out Bailey or set something up for Bailey and her on a Raw between now and Mania to get her out of the way. I don't see Roxy Rhea being the Mania level match yet.
No, especially when I think the next match that you could do for Rhea, the next match everyone wants to see for Rhea as far as a Mania level match, they're doing it on Raw this week with her versus Io. So Roxanne, as much as she's been on a tear, her versus Bailey is the feud going forward, and Roxanne, that's a little too big of a jump, I feel right now, is to put her in WrestleMania with Rhea. And that's not saying she can't do it. It's story-wise.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. This popped me. I laughed really hard when I saw this. You guys hate Liv so much.
No, we just don't love her as much as you do.
No, we're just realistic. She just won the tag titles. She's not going to be the tag champion and the number one contender.
Right. I was just about to say that. We're thinking realistically, right?
Yeah.
And not with our bottom pieces. And that's all I'm going to say.
We just got out of the feud and everything with Rhea and Liv. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, Liv, again, she's been fine, but I definitely see an option for her to get put out on this one. I'd be very surprised if it will be Liv, Rhea, run that back for Mania. I still think Io's in the picture. I still think there's something there. Perhaps whoever wins the chamber somehow sticks her nose into the match between Rhea and Io, because I think Dubs knows that people are clamoring for Io right now.
A bit. We could see a triple threat, but also we've been waiting for like a couple years now for Rhea and Bianca.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't feel like
since they were in the Rumble, then they both were the last two finals in the Rumble. I can't remember what year it was. It might have been even like 2019, 2020 or something like that. I feel they've always been kind of linked together a bit.
They have, especially back in the past in NXT. I remember when Charlotte, I think it was Charlotte, won the Royal Rumble and challenged Rhea Ripley. Bianca Belair was kind of involved with that, and at that point she was somewhat of a heel, I believe. And Rhea was the babyface. And then you fast forward to the Royal Rumble where Bianca won. So they've kind of been tied together a lot. So that begs the question: if we do go into WrestleMania with Bianca versus Rhea, who's going in as a heel? Because Rhea is obviously a face. That's where the Jade comes in.
Well,
go ahead.
I don't want to interrupt, but yeah, you just kind of had my light bulb there. Because if it is Naomi and Bianca working together, Naomi has to take care of Jade in the interim because heel Bianca is going after Rhea.
So we finger poke a doom the end of Chamber, and Bianca just pokes Naomi and she takes a back bump, and then there's 1, 2, 3.
I think the advantage is 5 other people being in the match or 4 other people being in the match. So you do have the opportunity for any one of the 4 to kind of be the demise of them, and they just stay away from each other. I don't know. Maybe Bianca wins.
It makes sense for them to team, so they would team together, run roughshod through this.
Yeah,
you have to probably have Jade show up and cost one of them or both of them, and then they.
Right.
That's the finish. I can go ahead.
Could Jade return during the celebration? Say Bianca wins, and her and Naomi are in the ring, all happy about it, and that's when Jade returns, not the actual match.
Maybe.
I actually kind of like that better.
It
doesn't ruin. Either way, it's not going to ruin anything. I don't know why I use that choice of words, but I feel like that being at the end of the match after it's done and settled, I think that would be a better play.
Yeah, it might be.
I am sticking to my guns, and even if it is where she comes up and celebrates at the end and everything like that, I'm still sticking to my guns that Naomi solo is the one that took out Jade.
Okay.
And I think when the original question about who goes into Bianca versus Rhea as a heel, I don't think you need someone per se to go in as a heel. You have them both go in babyface, what have you, and you just let the crowd go back and forth of who they kind of get behind, and as the match momentum goes.
Yeah, maybe. So Naomi did it, but Bianca's going to win the Elimination Chamber. My original pick or my original thought was Alexa's going to win this because Alexa Rhea's got a lot of like poster value.
That's not a bad shout at all.
love
All the
Alexa.
goth mommies are going to be out in abundance with that one. All the cosplayers.
It's hard not for me not to choose Alexa only because of her ties to potentially the Wyatt Six.
Right.
But if you think about it, out of all of the women, Alexa Bliss is not really centered in any type of story. Right.
No.
So it would kind of be obvious for Alexa Bliss to take this, and we get Alexa Bliss versus Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania, which I would love to see. And I wish I could pay a ticket, but I would love to see that match happen. And then I know a lot of people talk about the brand split and everything. We know that doesn't really exist anymore. As much as we want to think it does, it doesn't. So Alexa Bliss could be the women's champion after WrestleMania on Raw. So I don't know.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Wyatt Six help instead of hurt.
They could help. That'd make it even more interesting if Alexa somehow was getting help from Uncle Howdy and such, and give her a real creepy WrestleMania entrance. Yeah, it's got legs. I think I'm gonna go Alexa.
All right. Fair enough.
I think I talked myself into it.
Well, it's the first one we've actually differed on, like not only just on who attacked, Jade and everything. There, I clarified it, KJ, so you don't think I was lumping us all on my theory and everything. But on even who we think is going to win this match, I bet you even if we did like in order of how people get eliminated in this match, it'd be entirely different too.
Bailey out first, Rock's out second, Liv out third. See, going back to your theory, could there be a moment where Naomi kicks Bianca and that's Naomi's heel turn? And as she's laying waste to Bianca, that's where Jade returns to save her friend.
Could be. I mean, think just there's been too many smoke and mirrors or too many red flags, too many obvious flags with Bianca being the heel of everybody wants it, everybody expects it. Everybody's saw the moment to where she's pulling back, Jordan Grace from having the moment with Naomi. Like everybody thinks nice, sweet Naomi, just feel the glow. But what if the glow says no?
Well, I actually feel indifferent a little bit because I feel like it's kind of been equal split amongst the internet wrestling community between Naomi and Bianca. Because at first, when it first happened, it was like Naomi did this. This is the obvious choice. Yeah. Naomi did this. I was watching a lot of videos and seeing tweets of people breaking down Naomi's facial expressions over. Right. I guess it was November, December, and January, a little bit, half of January. And then all of a sudden it took a flip to Bianca and people breaking down Bianca and her facial expression. Right. So I actually think it was kind of an even split between the two of who's the whodunit, if you want to say.
Yeah, we just need Scooby and the gang on this.
Is there any chance that it is anyone outside of these two?
No, and even Mr. Pierce, the evidence that you put forth, was it Pierce or was it Aldis?
Aldis.
Oh, Aldis. Either way, you're both guilty. You're bold. But even just because they happen to be at the scene of the crime, just insinuating guilt here and everything, I don't like that. No, it has to be either Bianca or Naomi. I actually could even see, respectfully, 316 earmuffs, Liv be the first person out of this match.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
she's got enough enemies, so I could see her being first out. Oof, you just made somebody cringe out there. But before we get to the next match, Vance reminding Anthony the IWC is no more. Doesn't mean we can't mention it.
Right. I mean, and I was mentioning the good parts of the IWC, not the bad parts.
The rare good parts. Parts.
Right. Now, I will take a moment to quickly remind everybody that the WFU is up and running. You can get your merch. You can join and show your support for the WFU. Down with the IWC and up with the WFU. So go get yours today. I will also take a quick second to remind everybody out there, we are back at it all week long. We got so much coming your way. SmackDown tomorrow, Elimination Chamber Saturday. Be a friend, tell a friend. We want to see these chats blow up. Almost triple digits in the chat for the preview show tonight. Love seeing that. So make sure, like, share, subscribe anywhere you talk wrestling. Share this link out. But last question, gentlemen. Officially on the record, what is your final pick for Chamber women?
I'm gonna stick with Bianca.
I'm Bianca.
Okay, I'll be the outlier and go Alexa.
There you go. You're the man in the middle.
Man in the middle with Alexa. I'm okay with that. But down to the nitty gritty, and this one's got a lot to unpackage as well. But the men's chamber: John Cena, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, Seth Rollins, and Damian Priest. I feel like one of these things is not like the other. That blonde guy right in the middle. I don't know what's up with him, but this shall be a hell of a match.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and Drew's post that the tweet that he put out of to where it's all the military guys and there's one dude dressed as a clown and like in the middle of them, that 100% kind of fits this. Like, now, granted, this is again one that I almost, rather than pick somebody, want to do like a power rankings of like my favorite to win, second favorite, third favorite, what have you. And I almost would put Logan Paul over Damian Priest at the bottom of this barrel here. No disrespect to Damian, but if we've got Dwayne out there in the lurch of trying to play Shang Tsung and soul sucking, I mean, there's no guy that seems more apt to sell his soul than Logan Paul.
No, not at all. I mean, that'd be scary, weird, and maybe work.
Now, does he have one to sell though? That's the question.
That's a very
yeah, that's a good question in itself. Yeah, this one, just like the women, is stacked. You got Drew McIntyre, Cena, Damian Priest, Seth, CM Punk, and Logan Paul. I know everyone's obvious choice is Cena, but my obvious choice, and I know I'm probably dead wrong, but I'm going CM Punk all the way. And I know I'm dead wrong. I feel like this would be great to have CM Punk and Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. Seeing their face off a couple of weeks ago, I think it was actually on the Raw here when they came to Atlanta, was excellent. And I was like, okay, I want to see this. I want to see this happen for the title at WrestleMania. But I think everyone is, on the heels of Cena winning his 17th title. So
you're about to bring a tear to my eye, seeing you go from hating CM Punk to out here celebrating CM Punk and being unabashed, unabated with it. You're doing me proud. You're doing me proud.
But all right, yeah, and you got a lot to unpack there. I'm a little surprised you are going with Punk as well, but Cena feels too obvious for me. I'm stuck with Cena as an obvious choice. I actually called out what Anthony just said, so I'm trying to. Logan Paul's not going to win it because I don't see him fighting that fight. Seth could, Drew might. People think it's going to be corporate Drew, so maybe that's a thing.
Could be.
I think the three guys in the front are your three favorites for this match.
Yes, but I also wouldn't rule Seth out. Seth is a sneaky four. To me, I gotta go obvious pick of who I think, if I'm betting my odds on who I think's going to win this. Yep. The Dwayne thing aside, it is John Cena.
Okay.
Because then you still have the options of Drew could still be the Dwayne guy that ends up screwing somebody at some point, whether it be at the end of this match, even if Drew potentially wins, if come the Mania match, what have you. CM Punk, I could see him. I know it's be the biggest thing if he turns the Dwayne guy, but I don't see it. You could still have the option for Cena, goes heel at the very back end. And ultimately, does Cody do the deal?
I think that's going to be a part of this, because if Cody does the deal, then it does set up John Cena pretty nicely. John Cena comes into a Cody Rhodes that has just sold his soul, whatever that truly means, to The Rock. Maybe that plays a little better of corporate Cody trying to hold down the former face of the corporation. I still like Punk. Punk, felt destined for Mania last year. We all know what Punk's big dream was. The one thing he never got, that Mania match. Is this the year? Because you can't guarantee, he's going to be in tip-top shape for next year's Mania or the year after's Mania. So you might, he's healthy and good to go. Knock on wood, he stays that way. I'm kind of leaning towards Punk overall. Seth would be a big surprise, because he would be a guy that could go into it friendly with Cody, but then kind of do that, there's always a backup plan. I got you.
Yeah, but they just did that whole promo segment on Raw, which was fantastic, by the way, of like, don't do the mistakes that I made and da-da-da-da-da. The Punk favor angle that's still waiting in the lurch to me is very interesting with all of this. There's the thing with all of this, it feels a little bit of going into this, like, towards the Mania angle with this, of there's a lot of moving pieces, and I'm just trying to figure out how well they actually work together, because the favor thing seems like Punk's destined for a main event. The Dwayne Shang Tsung angle feels like that's going to be obviously clearly a main event. Cena screams main event. There's 50,000 ways you could go with this. They all sound really cool. I just can't put my finger on which one it is.
The only one I don't want to say 100%, I'll say 75% that I can put my finger on is Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, after Seth Rollins took out Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble after he got eliminated. So I can say that's a 75% lock in, at least for me. So that's why I kind of eliminated Seth out of the picture. Logan Paul I eliminated out of the picture because he's Logan Paul. Damian Priest, as much as I would like to see him there, I just don't see it, right? So I'm somewhat in the ballpark with KJ with the front three. I think if we do the sellout angle and it's Punk that sells out, I feel like Punk doesn't sell out until WrestleMania. So he wins the chamber, and that's actually his favor from Paul Heyman that involved The Rock, with him selling out to win the championship from Cody at WrestleMania. If we go that route, obviously John Cena is the favorite here. 17th world championship reign in his final year, retirement year. I obviously can see that, even though I'm not a Cena fan. And Drew McIntyre, I feel like you can fit anywhere in this at any point, at any time. I think that's why the bottom three are the top three favorites to potentially win.
Yeah, and I do think they kind of teased Drew and Damian coming out of the Rumble. They kind of teased it. So I wondered if that pulled Drew away from the title picture. I could truly see this Elimination Chamber coming down to CM Punk and John Cena. Like, I could see that being your final two.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I am going with the theories with the front three on the graphic and everything, of Drew could be the corporate guy and everything, because when he re-signed with WWE, Dwayne gives him the Claymore. They've, when I had to have my skull stapled back together, there was one person who called me, and everybody kind of assumed it was probably Dwayne. They've had interactions before. Yeah, he almost could be my number two pick of still. I think we get maybe Cena, and then I at least get what I've talked about for a while. If we get Homelander, Cody Rhodes, if he, actually does the deal and goes corporate. The CM Punk thing to me is the biggest wild card in all of this, because if he does do that, like Anthony talked about, we wait and we get the reveal at WrestleMania, then it's a la Stone Cold sells his soul to Vince and everything a bit. That's the closest. Everyone was comparing the Dwayne Cody thing to that angle. That's the closest you actually get to that, because Punk's such a baby face and so beloved, and you never believe that he would do something like that. And that's what Austin had. And Dwayne might be the closest you're going to get to Vince now as a guy that's just an egotistical asshole.
I believe they are setting up. I think we're going to get John Cena, Logan Paul at Mania, not for a belt. I think that's what comes out of this group. That's they maybe Logan pins John, maybe John pins Logan, and it's that easy to kind of start those two off and running. Just looking at the screen, Damian and Drew pair up well. For me, that leaves Seth and Punk. Cody is really strong, a really interesting take. I just don't see Cody, and I've been saying this since January. I don't see Cody going heel. I don't think they're close to Cody going heel. I don't think there's a desire for Cody to go heel. I don't think in 2025 we have a heel Cody Rhodes, period. I don't see it. I'd be shocked.
Who does the deal with Dwayne?
No, who said someone has to do the deal with Dwayne?
Because it's Dwayne.
Right? Like
Dwayne won't go away unless someone takes his deal.
Right? And that's where maybe like someone like a Punk slides in. Maybe it's Punk, Cody, and Punk's playing nice, but he's got something in his back pocket. He's got the favor from Paul. I don't know how that would tie into it. But if Cena's busy with Logan, that gets him out of that picture. I still think Cena's going to win the title at SummerSlam, maybe. But I do think we'll get that 17 from him.
I still have Cena winning like the world title on his last night. I know I heard rumors of them saying that they were gonna do a Cena themed pay-per-view at the end of the year or a special. So I do see Cena just having the world title match as his last match and retiring as world champion, to break that record. I personally don't see Cena having a full run. That's just me, but that's where I actually like the idea of Cena and Logan Paul. When that was first, brought up on the internet, I thought that would be a great match. Logan Paul has, as much as people may not like him, he really is a good wrestler. And I think Logan Paul and Cena would be fun to see at WrestleMania.
Name value.
Yeah.
Who's more likely to be a heel? Cody Rhodes or CM Punk? Who do you think is a better fit in 2025 to heal it up?
You want my opinion?
Yes.
Cody, Homelander, Rhodes, and then you can lean into the whole conversation of, granted, it's this is, again, how much do you want to listen to certain people saying that they feel that his feud's been not the most compelling, or his run's been not the most compelling, what have you, or how much do you value, Cena's last run. I could see it with Punk. I've said it before, of when he came out and said, "I'm here to make money. I'm not here to make friends." That's still a subliminal, he can always pivot on a dime with that. Him and Dwayne together, because Dwayne's going to be in attendance. So that's why I feel like there's going to be some sort of a payoff, or at least a continuity or continuation with this whole, corporate, even though they didn't say it, but, the corruption of Cody Rhodes.
Right. I mean, interesting. Again, there's no right answer here yet, but final votes, gentlemen. Who are you taking?
I'm standing firm on CM Punk. On Punk, yeah.
I'm gonna go Punk too.
I'm taking Cena. Even if Cena wins this and faces Cody at WrestleMania, there's nothing saying he has to win 17 then. So
that's also true.
I'm taking the "you can't see me" man.
Okay. So, and also the odds right now, according to Bet Online, John Cena minus 1,300. So heavy favorite. No one's even close. Punk plus 250, Drew plus 900, Seth plus 2,000, Logan Paul 5,000, which is less than Damian Priest at 4,000. So, I mean, good betting odds. If you think Logan Paul, Damian Priest are going to win, you bet some good money and really turn that into a bang for your buck. But John Cena, heavy favorite.
Well, that's the thing is now to me, it's who is your backup? Like I picked Cena. I could very easily still see CM Punk win this. I could see Drew. My dark horse would be Seth. And then I would take Logan to win it over Damian if we're going through everybody on there. But like, who's your number two? You both pick Punk. Who's your number two if it's not Punk?
Seth.
Unfortunately, it'd be Cena for me.
Unfortunately.
I think you went Seth, KJ.
I just think there's history there, and Seth could definitely have that KO moment of like, I destroyed my WrestleMania so you could have a good WrestleMania, and here we are a year later and you're gonna buddy up with this fucking guy? No way. And so I think there's a possibility there's a good story to tell between Seth and Cody, and we saw Seth cook Cody on Monday.
But so then if you did that, then Cody goes to the heel angle.
You'd have to, yes. Like, I mean, again,
I actually don't mind that because you came to my dark side. Pause.
Right.
But
yeah. I could see how your scenarios work out. Like, Cena wins. Does it like create like that jealous, like, you guys are going to cheer for this guy? This guy.
I've been out here. I wrestled with a torn pec.
Yeah.
I've been out here busting my ass, showing up on every show on this and that. Like, again, Cody's such that politician. He already comes out suited and booted. He fits the corporate image. But it is too much. And like I said, it depends on if you listen to, there's a certain fan base that thinks Cody's title run, I feel, has been a little bit stale, or at least not as good as the chase has been, I would say. And so maybe you throw a tweak in that character and he goes at the crowd, it goes at the fans. Now you've made Cody versus Punk a lot more interesting because Punk's the babyface clearly going into that. You can now have all of these feuds with the top baby faces that you have that Cody was buddying up with.
Could the favor be something as simple as like, I'm going to fight Cody. I need you to promise me that all the Samoans just stay away, Paul. Keep Roman and all the Samoans. That's the favor I need from you, is just keep all of them away from this situation.
But the favor seems like the biggest monkey wrench in all of this.
Because wild card.
Well, and not only that, it was set up before anything with Dwayne, and it seemed very much like Punk was alluding to WrestleMania when he was talking about it the whole time. That's what part of got everybody behind it. Of he's going to be at WrestleMania by hook or by crook, whether it's him versus Cody, him versus this, him versus that. People thought it was going to be Punk versus Gunther at Mania.
Yeah, it could have been.
That's true.
All right, gentlemen, the final question of the night. I put a poll up for the chat already. We've already kind of touched on it. I think we've kind of shown our hand a little bit as far as our mindset goes, but this is the big twist in all of WrestleMania right now. Cody gets the offer to sell his soul to the final boss. Does Cody give in?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
No,
I think so. Oh, I've clearly just went on a whole diatribe about Homelander Cody Rhodes, and even then he slides into, like, he's been pulled by both sides. He got pulled by Seth last night of don't do what I've done, but he had Drew out there hugging him, being all awkward. Kevin, sitting there and mentioning, what I'm saying is true, da 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 da. So does he go to the dark side, Anakin Skywalker?
I say no. He's too pure, bro.
Cody Rhodes,
right? Does he dye his hair black? Was my biggest question of all of them. But 81% of the chat that voted right now going no. Cody will not sell his soul. Again, that begs the question. I mean, the one thing we haven't talked about is somehow this wedge The Rock into the scenario. All right, fine. But now I'm coming after your belt, and I'll see you at Mania. You and Punk, you and Drew, you and Seth, whoever the other one is. It just is, or is that too messy?
Yeah, that's slop jalop of it's got to be. That's the thing, is this either has to be Dwayne has no matches, or he has a match one-on-one with Cody or one-on-one with Roman. Those are your options. That's your playing field, I feel. Maybe the favor wedges Punk into that, And that actually wouldn't be too bad of a shout of, I'm not going to sit here and have my main event stolen by Dwayne.
Yeah. I mean, again, very possible. Roman's been announced for SmackDowns that are coming up. He's going to be in Bologna and Glasgow. So,
my tribal chief has a first name. It's Roman.
But yeah, I mean, again, Roman doesn't have a role right now, as far as we know, in WrestleMania. Some of us thought they would run back something to do with the Bloodline 2.0, but that seems to be all but dead. So the idea that maybe it's Seth and Roman, but does Roman just act like his cuz The Rock is running around doing all this and not he doesn't notice, they're not acknowledging it? What?
Yeah, that's the fuck part of Roman should be bitter bitch about this of, why didn't you come to me about this, my guy? Of, we're family, you acknowledge me, you're the final boss, I'm the final tribal chief. What gives? Why you going to him instead of me?
Right.
Because I really still want Dwayne versus Roman. I feel like that ship's getting further and further up to shore and all that, but I do really like the idea of Roman versus Seth. We talked about at the Rumble of the idea of a triple threat of Punk, Seth, and Roman. But the favor is the big monkey wrench in that. But yeah, I do like Seth versus Roman. Of that's what, 10 years now of a pain, of a twisted history. That's a really deep story you can tell.
Yeah.
Besides a title feud for Roman.
True.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, the last time they fought Seth and Roman was at Royal Rumble a couple of years ago. I don't think it finished. I think it was a disqualification. But yeah, I kind of want them to run that back. I definitely want them to run that back.
Right. I completely agree with Boston. This is where my struggles with this whole idea. Cody is that pure, loyal to the bone, the John Cena incarnate baby face for this company. That's why I do not believe they're going to pull away from a babyface Cody Rhodes who sells tons of t-shirts, shakes the babies and kisses the hands. I don't think they're going to move away from that at this time. It doesn't feel like now is the time.
I'll take that. So then who's the one that takes the deal? Because I mean, I know you said of who has to take the deal, but I still feel like it's going to be the offer's on the table. If you're not going to take it, Cody, somebody will. Somebody's going to play devil's advocate.
I kind of like Drew.
I like Drew, especially now that he started going at Cena and everything. And I think that's the thing, is I think they're already trying to pull him into that universe of Drew can sell his soul and everything like that to Dwayne, but it gets the surprise at WrestleMania. He's the last minute add another triple threat or what have you. He becomes part of the story, part of that angle, what have you. And that's the way Cena doesn't win 17 at Mania. Cody can lose the belt, and it's not, to somebody that's a part-timer, what have you. Yeah. You can bouncy away from that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's true. I do have one last theory, because we talked about Cody Rhodes being the biggest babyface in the company. It just dawned on me, what if he does turn heel and they make Jay the biggest babyface in the company?
He does exist.
Facing Gunther and winning the title at WrestleMania.
They do exist.
That's just a wild thought out there. And he is a huge babyface at this point.
Somebody said in the chat, who replaces Cody? Well, there's the answer, folks.
Could he fit those shoes, though?
He's in those shoes. He might have outgrown those shoes as we're watching.
I mean, he might have outgrown his shoes. But does he slide into Cody's boots?
I mean, he's yeeting with the children already when he comes down through, the.
Is he more the pure baby face like Cena? Of he's out there, he's Cody like is a bit selling shirts to the kids and everything, but Cena's like, rock flag and eagle can ultra PG, and Jey Uso's could kind of be that way.
Yeah, I think he is that way in a lot of ways, right?
And if I'm not mistaken, I think Jay might be the top merch seller.
Yep.
I think right now in the men's division.
Mhm.
So I mean, if you wanted to do a good old switcheroo, Jay would be the next in line to be the top pure babyface in the company.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, again, I think with 4 matches, we sat here for 59 minutes right now, and literally we're no closer to conclusions where people consistently talk about predictability. Even the things that seem predictable have a caveat. This seems like the obvious choice, but they're really going to have to work to get us there. So, I mean, ultimately, those are our predictions for the show, folks. Overall, gentlemen, super hyped, super ready to go for Elimination Chamber this weekend.
Absolutely. And I'm very surprised that this is the last PLE, the last pit stop premium live event before WrestleMania here. So that's why I expect some really big things to happen on this show.
Yes.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be a good Elimination Chamber. It's gonna be insane, definitely.
Yeah, and I mean a lot of people out there that had belly aches from that denounced IWC about the build to Mania. I don't get it. Like, we're about to turn it into high speed. We're about to click it up a gear, and that's what Chamber does. It's going to put a lot of things in place. Coming out of Chamber, going into Monday, we're going to know quite a bit more about what WrestleMania is going to look like. So I'm optimistic. It's in my backyard. Trish is on the card. You can't go wrong. A good old pure Canadian brawl between Sammy and KO, 2 chambers. I mean, what more could we ask for? But it's going to be a whole lot of fun, Nick.
Absolutely, absolutely. Is this where I do the outro?
No, but we can be tomorrow. Yeah, I was just getting your opinion before we shut it down. But join us tomorrow, folks. We are live 3 hours plus for SmackDown. Click the little bell. We may be here a little bit early tomorrow as other things are going on. But click your little bell so you know when we do go live. But we will be here for SmackDown on the eve of Elimination Chamber. We are back Saturday at 6 p.m. We got another full week coming up. We got Revolution next weekend. Sacrifice. Anthony's reviews will be up. Don't miss that. Nobody covering TNA the way Anthony is. And he wants to walk with Elias. Or is it
Elijah?
Elijah.
No, it's Elias to me. I don't care. Stop playing around with names, Ricky Starks. No, that's it, boys. We're gonna have a fun one. We're gonna be live for all of it. Go check out our socials. Any final thoughts, Anthony, before Nick goes into it?
No, I think we covered a lot with Elimination Chamber. I'm super excited. It's going down. And like KJ said, come Monday, actually really come Saturday night, we will know the second main event or the second big world title match happening, unless they do a swerve happening at WrestleMania. So I'm super excited.
We're hitting the first stop on the road to WrestleMania with Elimination Chamber. And like any good time when you hit a rest stop on a road trip, big things popping, no things stopping. So I expect big things from, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and Elimination Chamber. But our shit is real. Our shit is raw. Our shit is authentic. When you talk about that rest, you better put that 4 live with it.
Remember, folks, spread the word of the WFU. Get your merch. Share it on socials. Tag us in everything. Use that hashtag WFU as the IWC is no more. But, folks, back at it live from the Great White North. See you on the flip side. Good night.